For this week's project, we will be collecting all the materials needed for the 5 weeks of projects. Each counselor, the Tobin-ator, Peppermint Patty, and Stupendous will be providing instructions, tutorials on how to create a project. That's 3 projects a week for 5 weeks. Are you ready? All right. Each of us will be providing a scavenger hunt list. Items that you need to collect. We want you to explore your surroundings. Use your backyard, your front yard, a park nearby, and your own home to locate these items. Tell a story about these items. Make it a fantasy or be realistic. I found these items in the garage. They were ready for the recycle. But I found items I can use for my scavenger hunt and my projects. And I'm very proud of myself because I'm getting creative. We want you to enjoy this process. Have some fun. Think outside the box. Oh, a box is recyclable. Maybe I could use cardboard for one of my projects. The ideas are endless. So here I am, outside, continuing to gather fresh air while in the safety of my own backyard. So I want to review some of the items that we're going to need for the projects. And I know Stuart and Patty will have a list of items too. I want you to pay attention to each list that will be posted on the website for you. This will be your scavenger hunt list. You're going to have fun collecting as many different types of items you can find. Now keep in mind, the list that we give you is just ideas, things that we may be using for our projects that are coming up in the weeks to come. So I want you to be as creative as possible. Anything you think you can use to paint on or build with, okay? We don't think of art as just paint and paintbrushes, right? Art is creating. That could be anything from sculpting with like a homemade putty clay, or building, right, with rocks, maybe some glue or some clay that you find at the beach. Okay, so we want you to be creative, gathering lots of different items. But don't forget to grab the items that are necessary for your project. Okay, and if you don't have those, no need to worry. Improvise. That's what art is all about, being creative. So on the table behind me, I have a list of items that I managed to collect. Some from inside my home, some from the garage, and some from my own backyard. Things from the backyard will be nature items, leaves, twigs, and the such. Things that I gathered from the garage, recyclable items, things that I can reuse. And things from my house. Well, I went through some wrapping paper bags, for example, you know, gift bags, and I found some tissue paper and stuff like that. So I'm going to turn you around and we're going to go through the list of items that I've collected. Okay, so let's take a look at the table. Here's my bucket of recyclables, anything from old plastic containers that have been washed out with soap and water, clear plastic bottles here, an old carton, cardboard. They work nicely too, especially with the lids. Glass jar, lots of different plastics there. Paper plates, mesh materials. This one was wrapping a pear at the supermarket. This is a bag for mandarin oranges. So you can find pretty much anything in your own home. Newspaper, egg cartons, just regular extra paper. Okay, for one of my projects, we're going to look at using some flour, some salt, some food coloring. Always have a dish with some water, your scissors, and some colors and something to draw with. I always like having a little bit of thread around, or fishing line. You can use an old shoelace, you know, thin wire, anything like that to hang things. Now we've got some different colored chalk here. We will be using chalk for one of the projects. Some paper clips. We've got an X-Acto knife, something to help cut plastic or cardboard to be used with an adult supervision. Okay, some glues, some tapes. Of course, there's our paints And let's look back over here. There's our paint brushes. And notice I even have like old toothbrushes in here. Anything that you can use to paint with. Okay, some old cloths and other types of materials here. Okay, some glass, old glass. Okay, and then there's and it's hard to see with the light of the day here. We've got some nature items. Okay, so I just picked up some pine cones, some twigs and different shaped leaves and such, some flowers, some small pebbles, a nice smooth rock you could paint on if you wanted to. Okay, I challenge you to name the different things that you collect, right? So what type of tree or flower are these leaves from? Okay, yeah, what type of flower is this? That would be something fun to try to do. And we're going to encourage you to write a story. So in that story, maybe you could write about how you figured out the names of all the different items that you've collected, right? And you can make your story as fun and entertaining as you'd like, or you can be realistic in how your journey went collecting all the items for your scavenger hunt. So there's all the items that we need. I'm going to just grab my scissors here. There was something else I saw. I have a plant, or flowers I should say, that come back every year, and as you can see, their life is over now for this year, but I like keeping them here. I think even as they've dried out, they look so pretty. I get close up and you can see. Let's see if we can get that zoomed in. Yeah, look at the detail there. I just think they're so cool. Wouldn't that be a neat stamp to use for painting? So I'm going to cut a couple of these off and we're going to collect these. Yeah, I'm going to collect some of these and we're going to use these maybe as a stamp. So we'll see. Look at the detail. Nature is so beautiful. So I might even collect some other things. Okay, so have fun collecting your items. Okay, and spread them all out. Go through your lists that Patty and Stuart and I have provided and make sure you have everything that you'll need. All right. I thought it would be fun to create my own little story. So what I've done, instead of writing, which we do encourage you to do, I actually did a picture, created a picture with the items from nature that I collected. Check this out. Alright, so let's come on back over here so I can share my story with you. Do you see how I use the items from nature to create a picture? So I just line them all up and it tells my little story. There's my canoe. There's a flag. I've got the Canadian flag on the back of my canoe. We've got the shoreline in there with some bushes and flowers and other plants and trees. Right, a nice big rock to sit on. Maybe I'm going to sit on that rock and dip my feet into the water before I go for a nice boat ride. Yeah, and then in the sky over there we could have, whether it be clouds or birds or the sun. I can make my story anything I wish. And today I feel like being out on the water because it's mighty hot out. Have fun creating your story, however you wish to tell it. I'll be back.